Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for Virgo for the lunar eclipse. Okay, so for you, this one is This one is going to be for sure. Things have been a little more troublesome and difficult, and not feeling too hot right now. And there's been a lot of things with others. A lot of this is others' stuff going on in your life. So with this full moon, what you're really going to want to be doing is really seeing what you need to let go in relation to things that you have taken on from others and taken on as your own. There's also going to be a lot of wanting to lose, like, the shame and the blame and the guilt and a lot of the things that you've been carrying along with you, and it's just going to kind of have you, like, not feeling as happy as you can be and as carefree as you can be, and it can feel more like there's burdens and you can't deal with it and you don't know what to do. And so with this full moon, there's a lot of attention on really kind of retreating back to, getting silent and being in quiet spaces to kind of really open up and seeing what is yours and what is others. And a lot of this too will be values related. So there for sure can be things where you've taken on as where you've taken on things and just have been living this life through other people's value system, and there can probably even be like reactions in your body where you're rejecting them, or rejecting these things, or it's bringing up lots of questions in you of, like, this isn't comfortable, I don't like this, I don't really believe in this, how did I buy into this value system? But just kind of understand there's an upgrading going on with you. You're ascending, and quickly at that. So this is what happens when we ascend. This is why so many people leave our lives. There's so many noises going on outside right now, with dogs running around the house, I think. What was I just saying? This is why, like, people can be leaving your lives, jobs can be leaving your lives. There's a lot of these things where they just aren't matching up anymore, and it can feel painful because you feel like, no, we're supposed to stay together. You don't give up. You keep working at this, and there are truths to that in some points. But if people are not on your same level, and if you are not comfortable around them, or feeling like you're having to hold back the truth of who you are around them, then there's a problem, because that's keeping you stunted. That's keeping you continuing in that thing of trying to make others happy, or to be what they want, or to think that you need their approval. And maybe something like that is awakening to not needing others' approval, building this solid thing within you that you're just okay with being who you are, and if anybody has a problem with it, well then, oh well. So there's going to be a lot that is coming up, like more psychological. You may be seeing patterns and really kind of waking up to seeing how you've magnetized these same situations, same people, and really kind of wanting to have a total reboot, fresh start with this all, and just start over and clear the slate, and let this stuff go. There could even be things like painful things that have happened to you, painful things that happened in partnership, that maybe are continuing, and there's just a lot of energy that's trying to open your eyes to these things so that you can create a new pattern, for sure. So Mercury is going retrograde 2 days after the eclipse, and this is going to be working to, it's down in your house, so this is what you're all about anyway. So there's going to be you're going to be going back to kind of retrace and move through your thought patterns, because as a Virgo there is a lot of judgmental qualities within you, and it's a strength in you, you know. It's actually a strength, but it's something that if it seeps too much into your personal life or into your relationship life, it can be kind of, you know, dampening to the love vibes going on, because being gifted, you see all the details, you see what is wrong, you're quickly able to scope the scene and see what is out of order, what needs upgrading, or what needs to be changed. And not everybody is built that way, so for a lot of people it can feel like pressure. It can feel like you're criticizing them, and you're really not. It's just how you're built, you know. So it's not a bad thing at all, but if it gets to be on too many of the details that really aren't that important, that's when it can, you know, kind of push people away and have them think you're so nitpicky and critical. So during this time, you're really going to be going back and seeing where, you know, maybe you need to not say something. Maybe you need to keep it to yourself. Maybe you don't need to see all and name all those things. Maybe you need to allow others the space to discover that on your own. Maybe there's another way to say it so that people can hear you more and not feel so judged and put down, because, you know, even with this healing call that we're having on Saturday, Kuan Yin had come through to Tara and said that she really wanted to focus on shame for this one. And that's where, too, a lot of us have that shame deeply inside of us, and someone like you can really be a provoker just by being who you are and noticing these details. But other people, if they still have shame in their system, are going to hear it as, I felt shamed by what you said. I felt shamed by you telling me that. You know, and other people who don't have that shame can come from another perspective and be like, wow, I wouldn't have gotten that from that. So it is like you're pushing a button in them that they do need to see, and it is something that needs to clear out of them. But sometimes it can be too much, and over the next couple months you're really going to see like how you word things, and you're going to try to come from a place of always being like a wise old soul, you know, with your wording, and, you know, just kind of like you know, doing it so that it's not disempowering to the person, you know, feeling them out more so that you can feel like, how do I need to word this for this person? You know, like I'm really sensitive to criticism, even though I have a Virgo moon, you know, so I can criticize to the T, you know, I can, to the first degree, I can really like make people feel like so bad, even though it's not my intentions. It's just that I see all the details. So I've done that a lot in life. I've hurt a lot of people with how I've worded things, even though I didn't see that. I was just naming the details. Well, this is how you're supposed to do it, you know. So, but having so many backlash kind of things come back to me, it's kind of taught me how to just try to word it in a way that still helps them to be sovereign, and to give them the space to know they can create their own life and make their own decisions and do the best for them, to express it in a way that kind of more plants a seed instead of throwing the whole meal out there and going, you need to conform to how I want you to be like this, you need to do it like this, you know. So you're just gonna awaken to more things like that with how you do communicate, and you'll be more aware of what you say and how it, if people like pull back and, you know, act like you slapped them, or, you know, you're going to more want to do it in just a higher vibrating way that is honoring for all, so that you too don't have to walk away and feel shamed or bad or guilty because of what you said, you know. There's going to be this whole kind of alchemical thing going on within you, and through observing others and how they do respond to you, and that's going to be teaching you what oh, I can't think of the word, but little changes you need to make, what you need to alter within how you're expressing and putting out what you need, what your needs are. Because that's, too, I should get into that. There's going to be something, too, with your needs. You might even be, like, with others, like, I need you to do this for me. I need, you know, there's something where you're really, like, needing to state your needs right now, and that's okay. You're supposed to. Maybe you haven't. and you've let things slide and let have others people have their way too much. So now it is like there's something coming out of you of needing to say what you need to feel happy, what you need to feel safe, what you need to feel loved in this partnership, what you need from someone. There can be a really strong partnership with this too, for sure. Um, for sure, there's so much healing work going on there, and there's so much illusion going on there too, where you're not really seeing what's going on. And there's a great potential to have so much more compassion and mutual love within relationships if, you know, these shifts can kind of take place with you honoring more about putting your needs out there, and then also with kind of honoring um, what you need to change about the way you do ask for things, or how you communicate with others, or, you know, how you put that out there of getting people to do what you want them to do for you. You know, that's a great big Virgo lesson. You know, Virgo bosses can be kind of hard. I was kind of really hard on people when I would be a boss. I just knew you do it like this and do it like this. We need it done like this, period. Done. You know, that's how Virgo can be. Deal with it. But in the long run, that kind of puts up walls and can have other people attacking you behind the scenes. Then you can come off of as this mean, horrible boss, you know, when really you're just like, I need you to do it like this, do it like that. But walk a couple of those situations and you'll finally be like, okay, how can I say this to you so that you don't take offense, so that your wounds aren't pushed, but so that you do what we need you to do. So it's a whole learning thing for the Virgos to get that. So that's a big thing that's kind of going on. Let me see what else. There's going to be a lot of attention right now in the childhood arena, in your roots arena, or in what you start, in your beginning days. And there's kind of a boost of love that's kind of needing to come through that area of, with this healing factor, and it's in relationships with others, and there's kind of a whole slate needing to be cleaned with, kind of forgiving some people for things that have happened, and, you know, forgiving people for even like forgiving yourself for falling into these situations of fairy tale dream love that never came true, or maybe like having these way too high of standards or hopes within relationships where they're not really, where they're kind of put more on a pedestal kind of thing, where you've put them on a pedestal and they've fallen off and they've broken your heart over it. So there can be things like that they're just needing a new perspective, and you know, just to kind of bring some more compassion in it and realize that maybe you created that thing, you know, that put them up on this higher standard, and they couldn't help but fall off of it because you wanted them to be so perfect and so awesome, and they're not. And, you know, so there's some healing needing to be taking place within relationships right now. But with this, you know, lunar full moon, it's really about eclipse. It's about things falling away and you being a witness to what needs to fall away right now. So whatever you are seeing, you really just need to let it go. If it's not working, you need to let it go. If someone wants to leave you, you need to let them go. They very well may come back. They may just need the space to really kind of see the relationship from their own perspective, so that you can come back as more of a solid unit where you're working together to have more cooperation, and to, you know, get those words on a more loving tone, you know, where they're more supportive and not putting them down or making them feel bad, and then you feel bad, and it's just this cycle. I see like this figure eight of, you say something, it hurts them, they lash at you, you feel bad for it, you know, and then it's like, ah. So it's time to just kind of redo these things. And, you know, there is a lot of energy coming in for you to be really true to who you are. So there is something strengthening your core so that you can be a stronger representation of who you really are. And that's where you might be finding out that a lot of things were projected onto you, and a lot of those things that you don't feel good about now were just projected onto you and really didn't have anything to do with you. So be open to that, but do understand as these months go, you're going to be more aligned with being more loving with your words, more compassionate with your words, more high vibrating with your words, with your thought processes, learning to let things go, learning to just be like, whatever, that was put out of place, whatever, they did what I don't want them to do, let it slide. Maybe just like learning to be more relaxed and chill and let things slide. And not put so much importance on these little small details that are going on right now, and moving into that more expansive space of the big picture. And by doing that, I mean, you'll feel so much better, Like, I've kind of moved more steps towards that expansive space, and it feels so much better not to see those things or nitpick on those things or to feel like they're so important, because in the grand scheme of things, they're really not. And so deep learning right now, and shifting of your value system, and kind of having spontaneous healings too. That's where it'd be really great if you could be on this call on Saturday, because you're open for spontaneous healings right now, for sure. And they can be coming from that childhood root center, where you really can kind of realign things and move into more of a positive way of looking at things, and a positive expression of what has happened in your past, not seeing it as such a negative. So there's a lot of energy, gates open for you to heal these things quickly and just be like, done with it. That wasn't such a bad thing. I can see this in a brighter light, and yes, my life is good. So hopefully you can make those calls. I'll have the information on them down below. If you can't, we have another one on the solar eclipse, and we're going to continue them through the year and hopefully beyond on the new moons and full moons. Okay, you have a beautiful full moon. Be easy on yourself. Be easy on others too. If they're driving you crazy, just, surrender to this. Try to see the big picture. Okay? All right? You have a beautiful one. I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.